Let me know how you feel. As we go ahead and move on into our next topic of the day, who has a better tax plan? Y'all, of course, y'all know how that go. Y'all know how that go. Y'all know how it go. You on YouTube ran into melanin money. Hey, melanin money, they do some good stuff, but they're talking about who has the best tax plan, Donald Trump or Kamala. So they're going to have to go over the whole tax plan. This is what we really want to do. We want to stop. We want to stop paying the government to pay for y'all, to pay for the people who they want to get taken care of. The people who that's exactly what I'm gonna say. The people who want to get taken care of. We trying to stop paying the government for doing that. Now, if you really need it, I understand. I'll help you if you really need it. But a lot of y'all don't even want to help yourself. So I don't want to help you. That's why I stand at that. But no, who has the better tax plan? Y'all seen it already. Let's go ahead and get right on into it.
Did you miss the recent presidential debate? If so, you missed some serious fireworks over taxes that could change the economy forever. We're talking about thousands of dollars here. What if I told you that one of the candidates wants to put a $6,000 check in your pocket for having kids, while another candidate wants to cut the corporate tax rate from 21% down to 15%, putting millions of dollars back in business owners' pockets? Well, if you missed out on a debate, then you came to the right place. Today, we're going to be talking about everything that you missed tax-wise and how these new tax policies can impact your life and impact your wallet. All that plus.
Okay. We got a lot there already. Somebody giving $6,000 in kids. I don't want none of them. I don't want nothing to do with that. While another one trying to get straight up tax breaks to all the folks that make the money. Oh, heck, y'all. Come on.
Plus more coming up in today's episode. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So, tax policy change number one is the battle over the child tax credit. During the debate, both candidates came out swinging with their plans for the future child tax credit. Kamala Harris said she wants to increase the child tax credit from $2,000, where it is today, to $3,600 per child for children under 6 and $3,000 per child for children over 6. Part number two absolutely blew my mind. She also wants to add an extra $2,400 tax credit for newborns in their first year. This means that if you were to have a new child, you would get a $3,600 tax credit plus a $2,400 tax credit, accumulating to a total of $6,000 for a newborn child. That is absolutely crazy. And what if I told you it gets better? Not only will you get a $6,000 tax credit for newborn children, she wants to make the tax credit 100% refundable. Refundable tax credits mean that even if you have a $0 tax bill, you can get that $6,000 in a check in your pocket. So even if you had to pay no taxes, no tax bill, but you had a child, that $6,000 will come directly into your pocket. So imagine having twins. You hear me? Imagine having twins. You could be getting a $12,000 check deposited in your bank account. This is the largest child tax credit we've ever seen in history. If this was to get passed, this will be absolutely crazy. Now, Trump did have something to say in regards to the child tax credit. He said he wants to increase the child tax credit from $2,000 just to a flat $5,000 per child. However, he didn't mention if the credit will be refundable or not. So although the credit will increase, it wouldn't increase to as much as Kamala Harris wants to increase it. And he didn't mention anything about making it refundable. He did mention that he would make the individual tax cuts from his 2017 law permanent, which did come with a lot of tax credits and deductions that can help middle income and low income households. So, who won when it comes to the child tax credit? I'll let you decide. Okay, this is not a my opinion episode.
I'm gonna tell you who won. I Let me stop, y'all. I don't give a flying flip flop 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 flip on earth who wins the child tax credit award. Why? I don't plan on having kids in this election. I will not be voting off of the child tax law for nobody. I don't care. I'm not voting for that. You go spend your vote for that, not me. Now I'm not doing it. So it don't matter. He could give 50,000, she could give 100,000. I might have a kid then. I might hold on, y'all. I had to hear what I said. I had to listen to what I said. I would have a kid then. But yeah, I'm not planning on having no kid, especially not for no tax break. A kid way more expensive than a tax break. I know some of y'all love having kids so that when you get your little taxes back, you like, oh yeah, I'm getting off because my kid. Ain't even gonna go spend the money on your kid. You gonna go spend it on yourself. Should be ashamed in yourself. That's why you voting for this so that you can get $6,000 back and spend on yourself. Not take care of your kids. Should be ashamed in yourself. Should be ashamed. But like I said, I'm not voting on no kid. I'm not voting on no kid. I'm not voting. And I know people with kids, but I'm not voting for that. I'm not voting for that. That ain't gonna put no money in Steve's pockets whatsoever in any type of way. Like I said, you have the power to vote, so go use your vote on this child tax. You got the information right here. So that might be your deciding factor. Me, I'm gonna say let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Episode. This is I'm giving you all information episode. Okay. So, number 2. Now let's talk about the battle over the corporate tax rates. This one had everybody talking because this one will probably affect the economy the most. So, Harris and Trump could not be further apart when it comes to taxing big businesses. This is where things got really heated in debate. So, Kamala Harris wants to raise the corporate tax rate from 21%, where's that currently, to 28%. While Donald Trump wants to take the corporate tax rate from 21% down to 20% and down to 15% for companies that manufacture in the United States. So Kamala Harris wants it at 21%, 28%. Donald Trump wants it down to 20 or 15%, depending on what type of business you have. Now, here's why.
Okay. I see why you would do both of those. I do. If you raise the corporate tax plan, you know what they say, make the rich pay their fair share. That's what they doing right there. We gonna make the rich pay their fair share through that corporate tax, 21 to 28. Pay your fair share of taxes. On the other hand, Trump like, all right, we gonna drop it 1%, you know, and then it's gonna be 50% if you manufacture in the USA. What does that mean? If you manufacture in the US, that means that you're keeping jobs in the US. You're helping the US economy because you are employing people. I honestly, I feel like capitalism and the people who create the jobs, I think y'all hate on them a lot. We need a government to regulate so they don't do the most, of course, because they can do the most. They can really use and abuse people if they wanted to. But at the same time, we got to realize that corporation, the reason you have a job. That's how I feel. Without them, what would I be doing? What would you be doing? Yeah, they can pay taxes, but it's other on both sides. It's some good things that come with that. It's some good things that come with that. I know if I was a manufacturing, I'm like, okay, I don't have to pay as many taxes as long as I stay here. I'm down for that. Or I could outsource it and then pay them tariffs. Hey, come on. But yeah, either you gonna make the rich pay their fair share. Basically, you can put your quotes, and let the government do what they do with that money. I've already said, I know what they're gonna do to that money. They're gonna give it to the folks who want to be dependent on the government. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna fund them a war or 3 or 2 and keep doing the same stuff they doing. Same old, same old. Y'all measure it. Y'all measure it. Y'all measure it. Cause like y'all know, like I said, the rich people, they can be greedy and they can treat you some type of way. Like if you work for Amazon, I wouldn't probably want Amazon to have that tax break. Cause Amazon, they work the dog mess out of whoever worked there. They work you. At least I know this to be true for the people who work in the warehouses, moving the stuff. They had some workers, the drivers, they trying to unionize as we speak. So yeah, sometimes you need some government in there to damper them down because they can be greedy. So they might not. Amazon might not deserve this tax break. Well, we say that, but let's not act like some of y'all don't order from Amazon every single day. You order from there every single day. Maybe it'll make their prices go down for you.
Each of the candidates have their stance. Kamala Harris says that her plan of increasing rates from 21% to 28% could generate nearly $5 trillion in additional revenue for the government over the next 10 years.
Do we really want the government to have control of $5 trillion? What are they going to do with that? They already suck at a budget as it is. They don't they about shut down every single year over the budget, over raising the budget? They need to shrink the government down a little bit. I think it's too much. I think it's doing too much right now. All them IRS agents going after the scammers. It's ridiculous. Y'all might as well just let the scammers be at this point. They still out and about. I ain't seen not one scammer go down for nothing. I maybe seen about one. But all the other scammers I know, they still out and about. All the money you spent on IRS. I was expecting them scammers to get got. Hey, I'm sorry to all them Atlanta brethren out there that be scamming, but I was expecting you to go down. I'm not gonna lie. Especially they giving all this money to the IRS. Do we trust the government with $5 trillion? The government about to just go into more and more debt with that $5 trillion. I don't trust them with it.
This money could be used for infrastructure, education, and other programs that could benefit all Americans. However, we know how irresponsible our government can be with our tax money. So just because they get an extra $5 million, it does not, $5 trillion, it does not mean that they're going to use it correctly. Now,
like I said, it's going to go over to some wars, about 2-3 wars. That money going to go straight over there to Ukraine or Israel. Some bull. Or even better, they going to take care of some migrants. Better than the migrants going to be living better than some of y'all in the hood right now.
Some of you are probably asking, like, well, Carter, how could Donald Trump's plan of lowering the corporate tax rate help stimulate the economy at all, right? Because the money would just go in big companies' pockets. Well, Trump's lower tax rate could potentially lead to businesses now having more money to reinvest. They can use this money to create more jobs, and creating jobs will help stimulate the economy. Not to mention that they can use some of this money for stock share buybacks. And when a company buys back their shares, it increases their stock price. And if you're invested in the company in your retirement plan or your 401k or even your brokerage account, that can increase your investments. So it really comes down to the following, right? Who do you trust more with the money? Do you trust the extra $5 trillion in the government's hand for them to spend it correctly? Or do you trust the extra $5 trillion in small business owner or big businesses' hands where they can increase jobs, reinvest, and do share buybacks, which would increase our stock market, right? Who do you trust more?
Yeah, he making it real hard to pick there, sir. You're being very in the middle on this one, sir. Heck no. Even when you put it like that, we know who we going for. But them companies like Amazon can run right on over all their workers and not care about their workers at the end of the day. So you really have to pick. If you're gonna be in the middle on it, let's be real. Them corporations can be real greedy. That's why people like, well, how is giving the corporations a tax break gonna help anybody? It might help you. That's all I'm saying. You got a job because of that corporation. That don't mean that corporation should use and abuse you. They shouldn't use and abuse you, of course. But hey, somewhere more in the middle of making somebody feel like, yeah, I would have, at least, try to make the other side seem a little better. But I don't trust them using that money nowhere. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sure don't.
What's more? Some of y'all are like, I don't trust neither one of them. I trust myself. And I feel you. Okay. So now moving on to the next topic, which was small business deductions, right? And this is really huge because this is probably what's going to affect most of you all that listen to our channel, right? Being a small business owner, how will these new tax policies affect me and my tax bill as a small business owner?
What's up, family? Are you ready to make more in 2024? I'm talking make more money, pay less taxes, and get access to more capital. If so, I want you to join our 100% free masterclass where we're going to be teaching you all of these strategies so you can keep more money in your pocket and you can make this masterclass.
Let's start with Kamala Harris. She wants to increase the startup tax deductions for small businesses from $5,000 to $50,000, which could be really huge. But like, what does it actually mean? Because I see a lot of people getting confused. They're like, well, you mean to tell me that small businesses are going to get a $50,000 check, or that she's trying to give us a $50,000 tax credit? No, that's not what this means. Let me break it down. So currently, when you start a new business, you get to write off up to $5,000 of startup costs that it costs you to start up your business. The problem with that is when the SBA did a study, they found that the average small business's startup cost to really get a business off the ground is $40,000. So right now, there is a $35,000 discrepancy. So if you start a business and you spend $40,000 of startup costs, currently what happens is you get to write off $5,000 in this year, and the other $35,000 will get amortized over the next 15 years, which means you get to take a piece every year for the next 15 years until it runs out. That can cause a problem because a lot of small business owners want to take their deductions the same year. So with Kamala Harris's plan, you'll be able to write off $50,000 of startup costs, which would be more realistic for people that want to start a small business. And this could increase the amount of small businesses in the United States, which would obviously increase jobs and things like that. So
I think that's the best thing that Kamala done put out so far. Or period. That's the best thing that I've been like, okay, I might can rock with that. Now I just gotta start a business and run that checkup so that I get the whole thing. Get that whole thing. I want the whole 50,000. Sure do. I might as well invest the whole 50,000 if I'm gonna get it back in startup costs. Yeah. Sure will. Let's do this thing right. I remember in what was that, 2020, when I was selling candles, y'all. I actually got that because I seen what the businesses was doing. I was like, oh, these businesses they balling out here. I need to get me a small business or something. I started making them candles, y'all. Them candles started whooping my butt. I got right on out of that business quick. I got right on out of that business quick. So when I start this next business, y'all already know I'm not doing nothing like making candles. Show won't. Nothing that take that much time because that was ridiculous. That show was ridiculous. I thought I was gonna be like them, like all them entrepreneurs that was out eating and stuff, and they was like, "Oh, this is a tax write-off." I thought I was gonna be one of them. Nah, buddy. I was in that over that stove sweating like, "Oh, snap, I can't keep up with all these orders." I said, "Oh yeah, we gonna go on and dead this right now." I will not be spending no 50,000 to start up that candle business again. I can promise y'all that.
That is Kamala Harris's plan, and I think that actually could be helpful for a lot of business owners. Now, Trump's plan is a little bit different, and his plan is to renew most of the small business deductions from his 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act. And for as many of you know, the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act created some major, and I mean major deductions for small business owners. It changed the game for us from 100% bonus depreciation on equipment to introducing the QBI deduction, which gave small business owners a immediate 20% tax deduction on their qualified business income. That was huge. So basically, with the QBI deduction, if your business made $100,000, you will get a $20,000 write-off off the top, right? Which was just dramatic for business owners. Now, the problem is the QBI deduction is going to be phased out by the end of 2025, right? And as you all know, that the bonus depreciation is already phasing out year over year. It used to be 100%. In 2023, it was 80%. In 2024, it's 60%. In 2025, it's going to be 40%. In 2026, it's going to be 20%. In 2027, it's going to be completely phased out. So Trump said if he's elected back in office, he's going to renew all of these major tax breaks from his 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and he also wants to allow small businesses to immediately deduct their expenses on research and development. So that
Now I know y'all just heard how he big up them Trump tax cuts. Y'all, that like I was saying before, the tax Trump cuts was why I was like, bro, I gotta get me a business. Cause all I did was see these folks out here balling with it. Not that they were balling with it, you know, just to do it, but they were doing some stuff with it. Like they were being successful with it. It made their business, it made business look fun the way they was doing it. Oh yeah, that's the way I want to go. I need to own me a business. I need to get into doing some of that. Get them real tax cuts. Because we all got tax cuts from that. You know, everybody really got a tax cut. All the tax rates were lowered. So that's a plus. Anyway, but that when I seen these business owners, black business owners at that, that's what I'm into. Talking about the tax cuts they getting and the tax plays they running, and you got to get you a business so you can get into this game and that game and do this with it and do that with it. I was like, oh man, I got to get me a business. And I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make candles. Started whipping up them candles. I couldn't keep up. I said, I'm out of here. I said, hey, I tried. This candle making business, this a little too much. It's a little too much. I'm gonna have to tell y'all the full story on that one day. But yeah, that's the real reason that I even wanted to be an entrepreneur. Seeing what was going on during Trump's tax cuts, I said, boy, these folks know what they doing. They making plays. They got whole playbooks to run. This is hot. This is what I need to get into. And y'all can already tell how he was describing it. I don't care what he said. He's talking about he's being in the middle. You ain't in the middle, sir. You sure ain't. You big up in one side and stay on one side, okay?
that is the tax policies for small business owners. I think these could be huge for all of us. Now let's finish off with the last major policy that I saw, and this is shocking because this was the only thing that they agreed on. Okay. And what they agreed on was no taxes on tips for for our workers in the hospitality space, bartenders, whatever. So they agreed on no taxes for tips. So
bro, y'all got to think about how crazy no tax on tips is. Y'all have to think how crazy this is. I'm talking about how many people are honestly going to boss up from this thing. I can see it right now, bro. Barbers are about to boss up from this. Bottle girls, y'all about to boss up from this. Anybody who do any type of beauty stuff, y'all about to boss up from this. Waitresses and waiters about to boss up from this. I leave tips every single where I go. Y'all folks about to boss up on that mess so much. I'm sick. Y'all need to, if I was in one of those fields, I'm telling you right now, y'all need to really thank Trump just for that coming out his mouth. You don't even have to like him. But he people was feeling that that came out his mouth so much that Kamala even said no tax on tips. Can y'all believe this? Y'all know who really about to boss up on this? Hold on, y'all. Strippers. That booty club about to be popping. They about to make a killing out here. That economy get good and it's no tax on tips. Oh God. They gonna be the new folks out here. Hey, some of you women might drop out of law school. Y'all gonna say, forget them degrees. Y'all gonna go get on a pole. But that, like I said, that whole thing is crazy. Not only Trump saying it, but now Kamala like, hey, no tax on tips. Y'all all about to boss up. Y'all about to boss up. Y'all about to be getting, hey, I tell them, hey, y'all need to make sure y'all don't pay me nothing. I'm only trying to make $10,000 a year. $10,000 a year on the books. The rest, boy, run it up. No tax. I know the bottle girl's about to be going crazy. I ain't gonna lie though. If it ain't no tax on tips, y'all bottle girls better do better. Cause that tip that I give you worth even more. Ain't gonna be no more just standing there with the liquor bottle doing all this. This all y'all do right here. Let me see. Let me get this right. Ain't gonna be no more just doing this. Nah. You can't come out there with just no signs. I need to see some booty shaking. I'm just saying, y'all gotta do a little bit more. Not that I don't got a girl or nothing, but y'all need to work harder for that tip that you get in bottle girls specifically. Bottle girls suck these days. I remember I used to go out to the club when sections just started popping. They probably always been popping, but when I just first went out, them bottle girls used to come out there throwing straight booty. I'm talking about you used to have your one on the side. That's all she was there for. Of course, one of them holding it, but the other ones, they wham, wham. I said, oh yeah, I'm about to give her this tip. Nowadays, all they want to do is come out and all of them just do this with the little dude in the back holding the sign. I'd be like, boy, you don't get on somewhere with that. You might as well not even walk out here with the little entourage. All I'm getting is a little sparkler. You need to make it worth my while now, bottle girls. Y'all getting these tax off. You getting them tax off, y'all better make it worth the while. Show better. Come on, y'all. I'm about to stop fooling. Go ahead and finish this video right on out.
So as you can imagine, this would be huge for the restaurant industry. This would be huge for the club industry with bartenders. This would be huge for the nightlife industry with bottle girls. So they said that they both agreed that they don't want individuals paying taxes on tips, which could dramatically lower their tax bill. So I can see some servers and bartenders perking up, because before you get too excited, remember, we don't have full details on this. They could say that it's not taxed up to a certain income limit, but I think they both agreed on no taxes on tips. Now, no, there are a lot more policies that they discussed during the debate. I just wanted to talk about the highlights. Now, I'm curious to know, which of these do you think?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the end of that video. I don't think he went over tax. Trump just introduced one more thing that has to do with taxes, and he said no taxes on overtime. Now that one right there, that affects Steve, y'all. That really affects the normal working middle class man like no other. Shoot, that affects some of y'all middle class women like no other as well. I know plenty of women that put in that overtime. They be working harder than most of y'all dudes, putting in that straight overtime grind. But that's affecting me right now. I'm putting in overtime right now. You telling me you ain't gonna tax that overtime? I'm gonna be able to get straight to the bag. Ooh. Call that a game changer. If they really do, if Trump get in office and he's still no tax on overtime, I'm putting in overtime every chance I get. It won't even matter. Every chance I get is coming. Hex yeah. Y'all know how them Walmart, they always need an employee to work overtime. No, they always need an employee to work, but they don't want to get nobody overtime. I tell them now, y'all gonna have to get me to overtime. Y'all gonna have to get me to overtime. I'll work. I sure will. I sure will work. But you got to get me to overtime. I better be overtime. I better be able to clock that. Hey, can you fill in? Am I gonna get that overtime? Because if I ain't getting that overtime, not tax, X nah. And these people, you think it's hard to get people to work now? That's gonna fill in some gaps. Hey, we need somebody to work overtime. Folks gonna be fighting to get in that overtime. Hey, young blood, I got a family to feed. You got sure won't. And also, I just thought another added benefit is you might not even have to get a second job now. No, a lot of people got to get a second job. If you just put in some overtime on your regular job, maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll work out. Yeah, y'all, but that's who has a better spelled wrong down there. I see it. I see it spelled wrong. Some of y'all only gonna pay attention to that. But who do y'all think has the better tax plan? Y'all let me know. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'm gonna tell y'all who Trump obviously has the better tax plan because he doesn't want people to pay taxes. He don't want nobody to pay taxes. That's what he's saying. He don't want nobody to pay taxes. So who has the better tax plan? Trump. Let's be real. It ain't even really close on who has the better tax plan for everybody. I don't think it's close. Kamala threw a little surprises in there. She did surprise a little bit. Surprised it a little bit. With some of the stuff that she did. But let's be real. We just gonna be real. Trump had the better plan, man. And with that, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment.